So, when watching the McLaren launch of their brand new 2021 car, there was something strange that I noticed. There wasn't a single piece of Mercedes branding on either their new car or even their new race suits. And I must be honest, even before the actual launch itself, which happened at 7 o'clock in the evening, there was an interview with Zach Brown earlier in the day in the build-up to the launch, and even in that interview, I immediately noticed that there wasn't a single piece of Mercedes branding with either their logo or even just the word Mercedes anywhere really, which initially I thought was a little bit odd, but at the same time I just presumed that there was going to be something on the car itself. But no, when the covers came off, not only was there no sign of any Mercedes branding on the car, there was no sign of any Mercedes branding anywhere at all, which I thought was strange given that one of the biggest talking points when it comes to McLaren in 2021 is their brand new Mercedes power unit partnership, which many people think will help McLaren with their fight back to the front. So why is that? Why is there no Mercedes logos anywhere to be seen? And why would McLaren themselves not want to promote the Mercedes brand? Now, when you look at the other Mercedes power teams on the grid, who are Williams and Aston Martin, previously Racing Point, it's not entirely uncommon to not see the power unit manufacturer on either cars or even the team merchandise, but that does vary from team to team. For example, Williams last season didn't have any Mercedes branding on their car, and as of recording, we are yet to see their 2021 livery, but I don't think we will be seeing the three-pointed star on this year's car either. But they have released images of their team's official merchandise for 2021, and they do display the Mercedes AMG logo very prominently on their merchandise. However, on the other hand, Aston Martin, or Racing Point as they were in 2020, like McLaren, also did not display any Mercedes branding either, and even looking back at their Force India liveries from 2018 and 17, there weren't any Mercedes logos either except for a very small AMG sticker on Esteban Ocon's helmet, which has less to do with the power unit and more to do with the fact that Esteban Ocon is a Mercedes junior driver. And it's not as if McLaren haven't displayed the Mercedes logo in the past. I mean, some of the most iconic liveries of all time were those chrome and red McLaren Mercedes Vodafone liveries from the late 2000s and early 2010s, which had the Mercedes three-pointed star very prominently displayed in various places, like on the engine cover and even right on the nose of the car to make sure everyone knew who powered the British team. Even once Mercedes returned to the sport in 2010, the logos were still as prominent as ever by both of the teams, who of course were both using Mercedes engines, and as far as the last time McLaren wore the Mercedes badge in Formula 1 was back in 2014, which was the previous season being powered by Mercedes power units up until the new season in 2021. Now, Andreas Seidel was asked not necessarily about the lack of Mercedes branding, but more about McLaren's position and ambitions in Formula 1, which did slightly hint as to why the Mercedes logo isn't on their cars or merchandise. He said, "We are definitely convinced that we are in a position, once we are there as a team, that the Mercedes power unit can help us to win races again in the future, but I think it's important to make sure that we focus on ourselves. We still have a long way to go on our side and on the team side, but we are happy with the progress we can make in the last 2 years. At the same time, there is still a lot of things we need to get in place, first on the infrastructure side and on the team side, before we actually battle for race wins again. The entire team has worked hard over the short winter, together with our colleagues from Mercedes AMG, to produce the MCL35M and provide a strong car for our drivers to race this year." He then talked a little bit about their brand new driver lineup of Lando Norris and Daniel Ricciardo, and finished by saying, "With these two behind the wheel of the MCL35M, we know we'll have a team that gives total commitment in the pursuit of on-track performance as we head into the 2021 season." So, although he didn't specifically talk about the lack of Mercedes branding, the team are clearly fully focused on themselves and with their new and exciting driver partnership, and although they are powered by Mercedes, the goal is clearly to return to the top and compete with Mercedes themselves for wins and titles. So why do McLaren not want to display the Mercedes brand on their car? Well, different power unit manufacturers have different requirements when it comes to the branding of their companies. When Mercedes provide power units to customer teams, in those deals Mercedes don't require for those teams to feature the Mercedes branding on either their cars or their merchandise. And this really does depend on what engine you have, because different companies like different levels of sponsorship. For example, Honda, who power Red Bull and AlphaTauri, have their logos very prominently displayed on both their cars and also the drivers' race suits, so that when you see the likes of Verstappen and Gasly win races and stand on the top step of the podium, those Honda logos are right there for the world to see, and for the company, it's great to have that exposure and representation of having their brand winning a Formula One Grand Prix. Ferrari are more similar to Mercedes in that neither of their two customer teams, Alfa Romeo and Haas, have any Ferrari branding. Renault are a little bit different again. Despite being called Alpine for 21, the power unit will remain as a Renault power unit, and on their main team in 2020, the Renault logos were very prominent given that Renault has its own team, unlike Honda. However, on their customer cars, which was the McLaren, the branding was less prominent, with only a small Renault sticker on the back of the engine cover, a small lettered logo on the race suits, and a small lettered logo on the team's merchandise as well. And going back to what I said right at the beginning, this is what initially jumped out to me even in that pre-launch interview with Zach Brown. Whilst in 2020 the team had Renault on their team merchandise, the new one in 2021 obviously had removed the Renault but had no Mercedes branding, which I found interesting straight away. So why else would McLaren specifically opt not to display the famous Mercedes three-pointed star? McLaren as a brand can be divided, quite ironically given the topic, like a three-pointed star, into three different sides: McLaren Automotive, which is their road car division; McLaren Racing, which is where Formula One fits in along with the other racing series that McLaren compete in; and McLaren Applied, which is to do with the technology that they develop and how it can help people and various other industries using what they've learned from building cars and motorsport. And the Mercedes partnership, whilst beneficial to the race team, kind of intersects and clashes between the automotive side and the racing side. As I said earlier, the McLaren and Mercedes partnership beginning in 2021 is a strictly technical partnership, and unlike with Williams, it doesn't come with a marketing deal to promote the Mercedes brand. So this is where the automotive and racing sectors clash. McLaren themselves, with where the company is, probably don't want to be really promoting the Mercedes brand, because unlike what we looked at earlier in the late 2000s and the early 2010s, McLaren then were only just beginning mass manufacturing their first proper cars since the McLaren F1 from the 90s. Since 2012, however, they have become a fully fledged and growing supercar manufacturer with multiple models, and that side of their business is what generates most of the company's revenue. So therefore, McLaren really don't want to be displaying Mercedes logos, because not only are they a competitor on the track, but they are also a direct competitor on the road in terms of their car sales. And even now in 2021, as an example, both companies have very recently each launched a brand new track-focused supercar in the Mercedes-AMG GT Black Series and the McLaren 765LT, which are direct sales rivals. For every team, and especially the big manufacturer teams who are actually road car businesses first and Formula One teams second, F1 is primarily a way to promote their road car business. This is also one of the biggest reasons why Renault was renamed to Alpine, because Alpine are the performance arm of the Renault brand. You can even see this very subtle advertisement in the livery launch event. When Lando and Daniel entered the stage, they could have just walked in from behind the set or behind the cameras and sat down for their interviews, but they were specifically set up to drive up in their McLaren GTs as a way to promote those cars and the supercars of the McLaren brand. And I bet that's something you didn't really think about when you were watching it. So in the end, whilst at first it might seem a little bit odd and surprising considering how hyped this partnership has been, to not see the Mercedes logos on the new McLaren MCL35M, the M standing for Mercedes, and don't get me wrong, I will always have a huge soft spot for those Vodafone liveried McLaren Mercedes cars of the late 2000s and early 2010s, because I genuinely believe that they are some of the most iconic and beautiful liveries of all time. It makes total sense for McLaren as a brand brand and as a business, and in the end, the really important thing is not the stickers on the outside, but the engine on the inside, which will hopefully propel McLaren back up the grid and bring success back to the team in the coming years. Well guys, there you go. That is my video on the lack of Mercedes branding on the brand new McLaren MCL35M. Now, really quickly, just an update in terms of the content coming up. With all of these livery launches, I'm not necessarily going to be doing a dedicated video for each team with each livery launch because, like we saw with McLaren, and I'm going to guess with teams like Red Bull as well, they're probably not going to change too much from last year. I did do a quick video with Veloce, me and Tomo reacting to the first livery of 2021 over on the Veloce channel as part of our Talking Points podcast, so definitely check that out if you are interested. But for the most part on this channel, I'm only going to be putting out a livery reaction video if we do get to see a whole brand new livery or even some subtle changes that change it up slightly. If it is just the same livery as last year, like I'm expecting teams like Red Bulls to be, I'm not really sure if it's worth me putting out a video just for that because I've got so many content ideas coming up. But I can't lie guys, I do like reacting to new liveries, so I'm going to kind of pick and choose which ones I react to and post a video on and which ones I don't, to make sure that I give you guys the best quality content. Anyway guys, there you go. I hope you did enjoy this video, and if you did, then don't forget to drop a like and smash that subscribe button as well. We are on the road to 100,000 subscribers, so hopefully we can get there soon. Anyway guys, I will see you in the next one. Bye guys.